The most exciting time of year for college basketball fans is amongst us. That's right, March Madness is here. You're gonna hear a lot of bang and a lot of onions. Oh, he's got onions! You've got upsets, you've got blowouts, you've got buzzer beaters, tears of happiness, tears of sadness. It's all part of the fun. It's madness! And I think it's safe to say that majority of people are rooting for that underdog, that one Cinderella story that no one saw coming. The team that you know shouldn't be here. Well, every year there seems to be a specific player that has an unexpected coming out party. A guy that had little to no hype going into the tournament but came out a hero, and it changed the trajectory of their career. So with that being said, here are my top 5 March Madness moments that no one saw coming.
Play clock at 5. Score 4 goals. 3. 2 home running and 1.
Kicking it off at number 5, I got Donte DiVincenzo. Now, Donte played 8 minutes per game as a freshman at Villanova, averaging 1.7 points per game. A year later, he upped that to 8.8 points per game in 25 minutes of action per night. But by his third year, Donte had secured that 6th-man role on a stacked Nova team, and his numbers increased. He had taken home the Big East 6th Man of the Year award and had just registered his first career 30-point game. But I don't think anyone saw this coming. Nova had made it all the way to the national championship game versus Michigan. And in that game, Donte exploded for a career-high 31 points, 5 threes, 5 boards, and Nova got the win. Talk about saving your best for last. I remember watching that game and I'm like, who is this guy? He was a 6th man. I probably should have known who he was. But at the same time, you thought Jalen Brunson was going to go off. You thought Mikal Bridges was going to go off. No. Donte DiVincenzo. Not only did he win the Final Four's Most Outstanding Player award, but the 31 points is the most by a player off the bench in a national championship game ever. That record still stands. Coming in at the number 4 spot, I'm rolling with Carsen Edwards. Now, some of you may not remember his insane March Madness run, but I was tuned in watching this man every chance I could get, and it was special. Edwards was a 4-star recruit and was ranked 88th in his class in high school. By all means, Edwards was certainly a problem all 3 years at Purdue. But it wasn't until his junior year that he became a household name and a March Madness legend. As a matter of fact, after his sophomore year, he declared for the NBA draft, but good thing he changed his mind, because Edwards was about to have a magical run his junior year. Purdue entered the tournament as the 3rd seed, and the 6'1", 200-pound guard didn't shy away from the bright lights. What if I were to tell you that his 26 points in the opening round matchup of the tournament was his worst game? In the next round, Edwards led the Boilermakers to knock off the defending champs Villanova, to the tune of a career-high 42 points on 21 shots! The next round was the Sweet 16, and up was Tennessee, and you already know Carsen Edwards was in his bag, 29 points, game high, and Purdue got the win. But no, his incredible run did not stop there. Carsen saved his best performance for last as he went berserk, dropping another 42-piece, another one, versus number 1 ranked Virginia. And his run would have continued if Virginia didn't have this miracle game-tying buzzer beater to send the game into overtime where Purdue would end up losing.
Jerome, short, back tap, Diakite, a race for it, into the hands of Clark, got a chance to win it here, up the front, here's Diakite for the win, for the tie!
Rolling with number 3, I'm going with CJ McCollum. McCollum was an absolute stud at Lehigh and was a walking bucket. Dude averaged 21 a game in 4 years and shot 44% from the field. But unless you were a diehard collegiate basketball fan, you probably never heard of CJ McCollum at the time. Well, that all changed in 2012 when CJ willed Lehigh to the 15th seed in the tournament. Now keep in mind, they had previously never won an NCAA tournament game before, ever in the school's history. And the odds, well, they were definitely stacked against them as they faced off against a tough Duke squad. Remember that team? The Plumlee brothers, Steph Curry, Austin Rivers, yeah, they were tough. But CJ, he didn't give a damn. McCollum poured in a game-high 30 points and led Lehigh to the first-round upset. CJ struggled in his next game, and the one-game run came to an end, but McCollum had already put the basketball world on notice. He went 10th in the NBA draft, and you know the rest. Coming in at the number 2 spot, I gotta go with Ja Morant. So Ja had a pretty solid freshman year at Murray State, putting up 13, 6, and 6. Now you may have caught him on ESPN's Top 10 with a crazy poster dunk, but outside of that, you probably didn't know his name. Then his sophomore year happened and Ja exploded onto the scene. He doubled his scoring average, he dished out 10 assists per night, and he basically had himself a crazy poster dunk every game. And of course, Ja led his squad into the tournament as the 12th seed. Now, opening round versus Marquette. Marquette's the 5th seed and Murray State's the 12th seed, so obviously Marquette's got this in the bag, right? Wrong! Not on Ja Morant's watch. Morant absolutely took over this game and put up 17 points, 11 boards, and 16 dimes. 16 dimes. Not only did he have 16 dimes, but roll the tape real quick before I even say this.
Tournament's 2 leading scorers, and hammers it home. It's a jaw jam.
He did that. And obviously it was a preview of things to come in the NBA. If Ja Morant wasn't on the map before, well, he was now. Murray State won and advanced to the second round where they eventually got dismantled, but Ja had 28 in that game and propelled himself into a lottery pick, going second in 2019. And topping our list at number 1, you know I had to pick him, you know it was coming, it's the chef, Steph Curry. You are lying to yourself if you said all along that Steph Curry was going to be an NBA superstar when he arrived on the scene at Davidson. You're a liar. But after his performance in the NCAA tournament, most fans, if not everyone, knew he would be a problem at the next level. First off, freshman year, he averaged 21.5 points per game. The next year, 25.9 points per game. And his junior year, he exploded for 28.6 points per game and was the college scoring leader. So he wasn't a nobody by any means, but I don't think anybody outside of Steph Curry saw this coming, and maybe he didn't even see it coming. Let's flash back to 2008. In the opening round of the March Madness tournament, Steph had 10 points in the first half versus Gonzaga. Whatever. And 30 in the second half, securing the win. 40 points! The next round versus Georgetown, Curry led the charge as Davidson overcame a 17-point second-half deficit as he finished with a 30-piece. Oh, but would his magical run continue? Onions! Sweet 16 versus Wisconsin, LeBron James is in attendance, and Curry explodes for 33 more points as Davidson got the W. All good things must come to an end, and unfortunately for Steph and Davidson, the fun finally came to an end versus Kansas. Curry still had 25 points, but it didn't matter. The number 1 seed Kansas was too much. It also didn't matter because the world was already put on by Steph Curry. Everyone knew. That's when he was dubbed the name, the babyface assassin. And of course, the rest is history. So that's my top 5 March Madness moments that no one saw coming. Tell me who I left off my list, if there's anyone. Maybe I got it right, maybe I didn't. It's up to you. You go to the comments section and let me know if there's a name that I forgot. My name is Brad. That's my top 5.